Alright, so we're live. Officially. So Psych, any news about the Borderlands?
So there's an article from the 4th of April saying that it's coming to Linux. You know what, I'll just install it and see.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got to restart, like, probably after the stream or something, but I'm down to play tonight if you're free.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
If this doesn't work, we can always try Morrowind again.
Yeah.
You guys have multiplayer Morrowind?
Yeah, dude, it's a project called Tes3MP. I'll give it a quick shout out here on the stream because it deserves it. The developers are really impressive. So there's already an open source Morrowind engine called OpenMW, and it runs on Linux, Mac, and Windows. Hey, what's up, Falco? And someone made a fork of it.
Clean it off.
With the break screen?
Yeah, but we're
live?
voice is live.
Oh, well.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn on the cameras too. And now we're officially live.
Sup, bitches? Welcome to the next ES stream. It's been a minute. A lot of stuff has gone on. Hey, Lauren! Sorry, we had a kid. I was going to show you guys our kid. So, I got back from paternity leave, basically. Patryk, where did you go?
Yeah, I was in a fucking center of decadency known as Hollywood and the LA in general. Which was fun, but holy fucking shit was it exhausting because, you know, America is not Europe, so without a car is a bit tricky. But I got some good 3DS games, man.
Oh, really? What'd you get?
Dude, I've got myself, wait, let me grab them. I can't show them on the camera, I have no idea why the fuck that shit is not working. But
I just got Kirby's Extra Epic going on 3DS.
Yeah. I've got Zelda Link Between Worlds.
That's a really good fucking. By the way, pay attention to pay attention to the dynamic lighting. Actually, they're doing a lot of shit that we should be doing.
Oh,
that we
shit.
can do.
Oh shit.
Dude, pay extra special attention to like the normal and specular mapping, and especially when you get to like the ice levels, dude, look at that shit. That's what I want to do with ES.
Oh fuck, will do. I also got myself Super Smash Bros. And Conception 2. Which, nice. I don't know if you heard about that one, but this is the fucking weirdest Japanese game I ever played.
Nice.
It's basically a game when you're a high school boy who is having magical slave children with his classmates to battle demons from outer dimensions.
Well, that sounds pretty cool. Well, if I gotta pull up chat, I just realized I don't have chat. Do you wanna go first, Patryk? Do you have any graphics to show off first? Let's start with graphics.
Yeah, I don't have anything to show off because I was busy with like dealing the.
That's cool. I got a bunch for Pritam.
Yeah.
Well, people want to talk about games real quick, dude. I hope you guys have bought Final Fantasy XII Remake on Switch. It's fantastic.
Shit, I need to get Switch first.
That's one of our more controversial inspirations for ES, but you'll see the good aspects of FF12. Oh yeah, here's my Spawn and my wife. Come here.
Shit, the official version 2.0.
Yeah. Come here.
Aww, he's sleepy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. As soon as I changed so much about my life for that fucking kid, man. Like everything I eat, like completely changed. And like my diet, exercise,
and
like,
it shows like you look younger than 2 years ago.
Thank you, dude. I look like shit 2 years ago. I got a 6-pack going on now. Like, I feel so much fucking better to work on this game and not drown in fucking stress, man. I just needed a little bit of push to like invest a little more time in myself than, you know, just sit here and drown in fucking stress and not handle it properly, you know?
Yeah, I'm currently like relearning how to handle stress more positively because like you remember how I tend to go into this like super stressed overdrive mode, but it's like super not healthy, and I'm learning about
yeah. It's like the story of our development cycle, right?
But
dude, I even took up fucking meditation, dude. I do mindfulness meditation so that the stress from my life working at AMD, working on this game, you know, so that it doesn't fucking kill me, so that I can I can excel in this high stress environment, dude. Like,
Dude,
I take supplements, I hit the gym, everything is my stress resilience for this fucking game, and now to not die.
dude, this is fucking my issue right now because like I can officially now talk which project I'm working on. So we are contracted by Hasbro and Mattel to make an official Scrabble application ecosystem on mobile for them. So that's like multi-fucking million project, and now I'm finishing delivery of one of the major features, which I was I was the only technical artist on it, and I was the sole technical art responsibility on it, as a guy who was in the company for 2 months only. So, and the project got really okay, no NDA, so it was there were some complications to say the least, and damn, that was stressful, and I'm learning now how to deal with that because it's
yeah, that's important.
Yeah,
especially man, all I wanted to do when I first started this, I wanted to be famous so badly, dude. I wanted to be like fucking big on YouTube and Facebook, and then I actually did it, and I wasn't ready. I was not. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I had no idea how to handle being that level of public scrutiny and the spotlight like that, and it took me a few years to know how to function.
Yeah.
And in that kind of environment, when you have to be as smart as you have to be to work on something like ES with that much fucking stress, with that much riding on your shoulders, it's a fucking nightmare, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously drugs and dopaminergic substances don't pay off in the long run. You know, maybe they'll increase your performance short term, but long term, you fuck yourself up.
Yeah, dude, same. Like we went for the quick payoff, and we tried our best, and that didn't work out. So that was a valuable lesson for sure.
Yeah, so we pull our dicks out of our asses, and we try the fuck again and do it right. So yeah, have some really cool shit to talk about actually, real quick. Something really exciting happened. Did we actually formally announce via live stream that Pritam rejoined the project?
I think we did it last time. Or
okay.
Maybe we didn't.
So, yeah, our original artist Pritam as well. Maybe he's not our original artist, but Pritam has rejoined the project, which is for us because of the sheer amount of asset volume required to do something like ES with the skeletal animations and the fact that every fucking pixel requires more than just a sprite. It requires a normal, a displacement, a specular, and emissive map, you know? Yeah. So the asset pipeline for ES, for every pixel you see on screen, it takes like 4 other fucking pixels to produce that, you know? So we've been like, Patryk has obviously been drowning in asset workloads. It's been awesome having him on.
Yeah, I got a bit overwhelmed, and it's really good to have Pritam back, and it's really interesting because I never met him before he rejoined. I only worked with his assets, and it was funny because
personality is like exact opposite of you. It's kind of
because he was the artist just before, and the first thing I did was like replacing vast majority of assets that he did. But he's not wounded in any way about it, and now he's working quite diligently on supplying us with static assets and doing quite a good job. We also have some fans contacting me directly for that they wanted to join ES, so I started putting together this sort of like a crash course bundle of hey, if you want to help us develop ES graphically, here are the files for you to start with without...
That's a really good idea, yeah.
But without giving complete access, master access to literally everything that we have.
Right.
Yeah, because like our current, we have very trustworthy system, so to speak. Like if you really want to, like if you're in the core development team, you have access to pretty much everything.
Yes.
Which beat us in the ass once or twice, but on the other hand, it really streamlined the development. So there are benefits to that and disadvantages. But I wanted to develop something which would allow us to integrate people on more organized basis without hoping for the best, so to speak.
Which sometimes it's a huge investment to onboard somebody, you know, and sometimes that doesn't work out, and you've paid that, they leave, and it was a complete waste of time that we could have been working on something else.
Yeah, that was the
obviously when it pays off, it's totally worth it. But
yeah, that was the one of the main issues. Way before, it was like back when I was still living in Cyprus, I was committing substantial amount of time to onboarding and training of artists that would join and leave after a month or 2 or 3 or even weeks. And that was the running joke that since I joined ES, there were like 12 or 14 artists come and go. So we want to avoid that again, especially now that the time is on the lesser factor.
Right. Are you sharing my screen by any chance?
Yeah.
I'm just showing a little bit of stuff. Pritam and I have been working on. We're working on combat more or less right now, but part of that is inventory system and consumable items, and I'm also tying that in with, we have a job system, right? So one of the jobs is more or less an alchemist.
Yeah.
And an aspect of that is herbology, right? So you can find different foliage in the game. I mean, you might be out wandering around and you find like some herbs or something. You don't have fucking potions, and you can take them and they restore a little bit of HP.
Yeah.
But if you're an alchemist or something like that, you can pick these different herbs, it's like Resident Evil herb combining. This might be this is restorative of a little bit of HP. This might double in Resident Evil. This doubles the potency. Yeah. This cures poison. That actually increases your max HP in Resident Evil 4, but this will probably add a time effect to it.
Can I interject before you continue?
Yep.
Do you know the parts, body parts of enemies and plants that I made? They're in the repository.
Yeah.
So that was sort of my idea for it. That those would be also crafting ingredients.
Yes, me too.
So we have also we have also something
for tusks and shit. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have also something for that for that in that regard.
Right. That's about to segue into my next point. But I was gonna say, so Pritam was working on these herbs, right? And I'm like, I sent him on a special mission.
Oh shit, bro! You're way ahead of me, and I was like, man, I got like a nice surprise for you, and you were like, man.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Funny as shit.
But no, continue.
Oh, did you see it? Hold on.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, the pot plant.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what its status impact will be yet.
I'd say it it gives you immunity to fear. Like reduces stress level or something.
Right. Yeah. Reduces stress level, which.
Dude, that would be easy. That would be easy mechanic to implement. Like have bosses are so terrifying that there is increasing stress level, and when you reach it, you get like a fear effect when you have to run away for like 5 seconds or something.
Jesus.
Like you get too stressed out.
That leads me into my next point. So part of this is I've been wondering. Okay, so the alchemist thing, is obviously you can alchemize shit, but that really doesn't at all cover how it plays on a mid combat.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking was an alchemist would probably want to use something like a ranged weapon where you can alchemize different ammo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that you have like a consumable weapon, and alchemy becomes part of your actual main combat mechanic. Not just you don't want them to be a little bitch who's like a thief, and then you just mix herbs on the side. That's fucking gay,
crafting ammo from Monster Hunter.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, sort of like that. You want a way for crafting to be part of the core gameplay mechanic. I feel.
Hey, here's an idea for interesting crafting system that may or may not be easier to implement in the long term, like more scalable. So instead of having recipes with concrete, like you require 2 boar tusks or something, having alchemical ingredients having like a tags or something like this contains like boar tusk contain endurance element and strength element, and let's say if you want to craft a potion you require like 3 endurance elements and 2 strength elements, and that gives you plus 20 strength and plus something like in this way. And depending on the quality of your ingredients, which will be the level of the monster that you killed, will be the stronger the potion. So it will be like dynamically scalable system that we don't have to put a lot of content into. It's just a bunch of relationships that sort of works by itself.
See, and that also kind of there's another issue with some of the alchemy shit is once you get good at higher level alchemy, like a little bitch herb is fucking pointless. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
there'd be a lot of little items in the game that are no longer of any fucking relevance to you or interest. But if you do it like that, where each item, you know, can be broken down into its, you know, is an aggregate of something like that, other stats, you know, then that might be a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want like and then essentially if you want like a stronger potion, you just put like either one super strong herb or 50 peach herbs condensed.
Right, exactly. Yeah, because a lot of games when you get far enough in the game, like Dragon Quest, you examine a barrel, you get a fucking herb that restores 10 HP, you've got 1,000 fucking HP. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Why am I even incentivized to pick up these bitch items? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, it's like I guess it's a fucking toilet paper. Yeah. So like in terms of echoes. So in terms of echoes, were you thinking of like structuring the design of it a bit, as in like having like an alchemist echo and then having it applicable only to one character or to multiple? Because I don't quite remember it.
No, multiple. Anyone can be any job.
Yeah.
Anyone can be any job.
All right.
I don't want to limit the game like that.
All right. So that would require skin for every character. Got it.
Yeah. That's the only downside there. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not big.
It's not a big downside. But I'm actually not even worried about the design, because it's not like we're gonna have a differentiated skills between. It's like there are not gonna be unique skills on like a character echo combination, or if there will be, there might be.
Yes, like, no, there's not. No. Yeah. And see, that's what we don't want. So part of ES is that there's two aspects. Each character feels unique because the character might have special skills, but at the same time, you can make those characters go in any direction you want. Yeah. By giving them different jobs and allowing them to specialize. Like Julian might not be the ideal healer, but you can take him in that direction. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's kind of what I wanted, is more using jobs to kind of create the party dynamics and mechanics that you wanted to create. Yeah. You know, I didn't want to give like this path of this character is the fucking healer, this character is this. Like, no, that's definitely not what I wanted to do with this. Yeah,
so like one point that I wanted to interject, that would be literally impossible without the shared skeleton and shared animations.
Yeah, I figured that would be a fucking nightmare. So good thing that I don't even think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Because without that, like, can you imagine doing the same animations for like every single combination of character and skill?
Even the scripting for that would be a nightmare to have to.
Yeah, and like to be fair, we can even be dicks and share a lot of assets. Like I doubt that.
Oh yeah.
I doubt that Alchemist Julian gonna have different forearms than Alchemist.
Nobody should expect that. Every game, like Bravely Default, Final Fantasy, whatever the fuck, Dragon Quest, whatever the fuck, it is understood. You know, when you swap jobs, if you have the same goddamn job, they're going to be wearing somewhat similar breeches, right? No, I don't think so. And with the skeletal animation system, if you imagine if we were doing a truly like old school 2D game, like most of them, where you had to draw every motherfucking asset manually in like, you know, every combination of echo and character as a standalone sprite and swap sprite animations, you know.
That would be probably still a lot of copy paste, but that would be a lot of like sheet space. That would be so fucking inefficient.
Yeah, I would kill myself to happen. Yeah. Oh yeah. Random aside, I bought Xander his first stuffed animal teddy bear the other day. I was like, what's it gonna be?
Oh my god.
Supersonic motherfuckers.
Okay.
No son of mine needs a teddy bear.
For sure.
Hey, Eliezer Vargas?
What's up? Oh, also, I wanted to give, I think today is someone's birthday, but I don't know how to pronounce their username, so it doesn't really matter. Suchomount? He's probably like, Jesus Christ. I was going to give him a shout out, but I can't pronounce his I can't pronounce his name, so his handle. Suchomat. Suchomat. Happy birthday, man.
Nice.
You've been doing a lot of cool shit too in private in the shameless promotion chat. You've been doing a lot of really cool stuff, man. I'm proud of you. Sounds like you're doing really well in your life. So good for you, man. Happy birthday.
Yeah, man. Like, and I'm in general, I'm happy that the channel is active. Like, it seems like.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, we're starting to get a lot of cool shit done. Andrew Apperly here in the corner is working on something secret. So I'm not going to talk about it, but he's on the team, you know. He's not just like a spectator, but I don't want you to know what the fuck he's working on, so we can show it off.
Nice.
I'm the kind of guy, I'd rather keep my head down until we have something cool than talk out of my ass. Everyone goes, oh, they can't do that. That's not real. You know, I would much rather. Maybe I used to be more like that when I was younger, but I'm getting older and fuck that. Talk is cheap. So yeah, that's what he's up to. Jacob.
Yes.
You want to start talking about some of the stuff you've been doing?
Oh, yeah.
I can introduce real quick. Jacob's been doing navigation and some of the combo stuff for combat. Take it away.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll get my screen shared on my desktop.
Here you go.
So
Yeah.
I've been doing navigation, and we implemented the A-star algorithm. The way we have it set up is that navigation is its own separate module, because we eventually want to have it to where we're having high-level decision-making for our AI, so that navigation is interfaced through the AI's script itself. So this is useful if, like, we want to go attack a player, then we'll navigate to the player, then attack, or if we want to go pick up an item, say like their health is low and they want to go find one of those herbs, then we can actually say, okay, find the nearest herb, navigate to it. Or
the navigation system takes like very high level things, like I want you to walk to here, you know what I mean? And hence the low level aspects of, okay, well, how the fuck do I get there? And like letting you know when you're done and stuff, you know? So it's kind of like the lower level of abstraction that's going to sit underneath the overall AI state machines for whatever entity or whatever. So this is, and you built fucking Pac-Man. Apparently I haven't even seen this either, so.
Yeah. You got my screen selected?
Yeah, it's showing.
Okay. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see it. Well, we have this boar here.
Yeah.
That's in the center, and it's going to navigate to its enmity target, which is supposed to be Julian, but it's actually going to be it will either be Julian or one of these three over here, and it'll walk through the maze. The only thing is like if you move, then like it has to recalculate the path.
Yeah.
So it's very intensive. So it causes everything to lag on it.
Right. So that, you know, that's what JStar is. That's the next step.
The jump point search.
Yep. That's the next step. So that's a slight modification on this. So yeah, the initial algorithm is basically when you fucking move, you have to recalculate everything. So that's correct. Yeah. Jumpstar comes after that.
Right. Because I think with the original algorithm, you search vertically and horizontally and like all around. And then with jump point search, it kind of does an exhaustive search. So instead of looking for the neighbors, it'll continue going either on like a horizontal, diagonal, or vertical path till it hits a wall. And then it will.
Part of it is too that you're also caching some of the paths.
Yeah.
Between things, yeah. So that you can say like. You can say like, okay, this terrain over here has not changed yet, so I knew that you could get from point A to point B from over here, and something changed over here. I know I don't have to dynamically recalculate this aspect of that, you know?
Yeah.
Zoom in on the fucker.
The boy.
We just make sure he's actually finding his way through. That's awesome though. He fucking is. Okay, I don't want boars to be that goddamn smart though. Boars are supposed to be dumbasses.
Yeah.
Your party could be that smart. Dude, I know. Like, you're in the forest one, right? And like there's like a couple level 5 boars, and you're just walking around, you aggro all of them in the level, you know, and you're like, fuck it. And you like, you know, you start walking around, they all just like start fucking following you everywhere. That would kind of be hilarious. It's really funny, man. Have you guys played the Secret of Mana? Just came out with like a bunch of remakes. My brother was actually playing Mana 2 the other day, and you forget, man, how bad some of the AI is in those old games like Secret of Mana. Like, Holy fucking shit. Nothing in mana could solve a goddamn maze like this. Nothing.
Which I have it to aggro way the hell up, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that is like that's awesome. That's kind of like you guys played the Resident Evil 2 remake with the fucking what's his name? The Tyrant. The Tyrant from Resident Evil 2 is just like this big, slow fucking buff guy that like follows you around the police station. Like perfect AI. He always knows where you are, but he's fucking slow. But he'll always catch you if you stand still. So there's always this tension because you have to be in motion, or this big fucking guy that no matter what you do, you can't kill him. You can stun him and then run off. And it kind of makes it fucking terrifying in RE2. We should do that in the dark, evil swamp dungeony area. In one of the later dungeons, the dark ass one, to scare the shit out of people.
Yeah.
The one where we're intentionally trying to go more survival.
The medlab one or the jungle one?
I think that would be cool, dude. It could be like some failed, like genetically modified shit. Oh, what the fuck is that?
Oh, it's a side room for the ruin.
What? When the fuck did you do that?
Dude, this is one of the first levels I did.
Really? Is that committed?
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good. What? Okay, where are you entering that? That looks really good.
Either from the south or the north.
Good. Good use of elevation. Like, yeah, dude. Definitely, I like the fact you're adding water to the environment. That adds a lot more. And we need to do things like make sure that fire magic when you're standing in that fucking water, is not just going to be full strength. We need to make sure that we're doing things like that. That will come later,
Yeah,
but
and electricity.
that kind of shit is what's going to make this game like that, the kind of dynamic and Zelda-y that we want.
Yeah,
the environment. It's
like
not just
and like while we're at it, ice magic freezes and electricity spreads damage and stuff.
Yes. Dude, think about how cool it'd be for like your navigation shit. Like if you use an electric move, it can like traverse the water and fucking damage everyone who's touching it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be fucking cool, man.
Hell yeah.
Shit like that would be easy as fuck. Like think about it. You just like do a greedy algorithm that follows all the water tiles, can go up like the waterfall tiles, and just fucking shock the shit out of anything that's adjacent, right?
Or dude, throw a flask of oil and spread some oil on the water and throw a fireball to make like a wall of fire.
Oh.
And
see, that's the kind of shit we want, man. And don't forget, remember on Adventure in Game Development a few years ago, we had like magnetism. Remember, you could attract and explode like the fucking metallics and shit.
Yep.
Remember, that's what we want, man. We want a fully dynamic real-time combat system, not just like Secret of Mana where all you do is like poke shit with a stick. Like the environment needs to matter. This needs to be a much faster paced combat game. Action mechanics are there. You can run, you can jump, things like that.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Yeah. So like basically we probably have to go for like some sort of tag system where basically like if entity has a tag flammable, then if it interacts with a flame magic or something that has basically property of setting things on fire, then it sets on fire. Like
right.
Like
fuck yeah.
Someone just said lab's gonna come in.
Sunshine, Falco is hyped as fuck. His dopamine levels are on fire. You know what's funny is I was never this hyped when I was abusing ADHD medication. So how many years of my life did I fucking ruin being a fucking idiot, Like, I can't tell you guys how fucking sorry I am for that. And I have worked tirelessly since my wife's pregnancy to fucking literally change my life, change my nutrition, change my brain to fucking like get my goddamn brain back without any of the stupid shit I used to do, So yeah, no, my dopamine's good, man. My dopamine's good. Jacob, you want to talk about the well, you want to show some of the behaviors? I think that you did actually have some more shit to talk about, like with that.
Oh, with the navigation.
The actual, probably talk about the actual API bit. What is the programming interface going to look like for this? Let's say scene, right? And I want to script up making some dipshit walk from point A to point B for a cutscene. You know, what am I gonna be doing?
What you're going to be doing, you would probably want to create entities on the map as reference positions, and then you would want to create your cutscene script that's going to load all this up, and then you want to have them to where you want to have a navigator behavior attached to whatever's controlling the cutscene, and then whatever's going to be moving with it will go from point to point. And
Right.
how I have that set up with a navigator behavior is that whatever script is wanting to use navigator will reference it, which look at agent combat behavior.
Which, by the way, I have to point this out, guys. Like this navigation shit that he worked on, like I was busy with like Xander's birth and shit. Like I wasn't really present, dude. This is by far the best anyone in this project has ever written a Lua module that is not me. Like this you have gotten so fucking much better. So good. I am very proud of you. You deserve like all the fucking credit in the world for that, man. That's what I say, man. Good fucking job on that. That's fantastic. Your work there. The code looks fucking immaculate.
Hold on one second. Okay, come here. Come here. Sorry. My daughter woke up from a nap.
It's all good. Oh, I know how that fucking is.
Oh.
See, all I do is I pass him off to the mom because I don't have. If I hold Xander when he starts crying, he like does this. If I hold him like this, right, he does it with his mouth, like he's trying to suck on my tits, and then I think he realizes I don't have any, and he gets really confused, and then he starts crying. So I'm just like, hey, Lauren.
Oh yeah, he is breastfeeding.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all he does, man. He's like I call him a tit goblin because all he does is sit on his tits, and that's all he wants to do. It's like a heating rock.
Can you say any different?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, dude, no. This morning,
like father,
Xander
like
was,
a son.
Dude, this morning when Xander was nursing, he had his mouth like this on sucking Lauren's boob, like nursing, right? But he had his other hand like this, grabbing her other nipple. And I'm like, that is my boy. Like, I get that, you know? Like, that makes sense to me. She definitely didn't cheat on me. That's definitely my kid.
Oh, God. Oh, shit.
Just lost half our subscribers. I don't care.
Dude, probably most of them have kids, and their kids are already watching it. Like, remember Elysian Shadows started as, like, bunch of guys. Like, to think that we'll probably be working on, like, Elysian Shadows expansion or, like, Elysian Shadows 2, and Xander's gonna be your age when you started working on ES.
Oh, I know. Dude, I've already thought about, like, okay, like, how, I'm like, what is the best way to teach him? So my plan is to teach him Lua. Like, I feel like that's the easiest path to getting someone into program, because I can create the API in Lua. You know, I can create an API around what I know his experience level and what his little brain can handle, you know, and present him with this language, this tailored for him, you know, which is just Lua wrappers around the seed architecture that I gave him. So that is my secret, that's my secret evil scheme to get him onboarded as a Lua scripter.
Nice.
I've been hard at work scheming on that one.
Freaking child labor.
Right.
The rebellious phase will be becoming a Java certified developer.
Dude, fuck that, man. I see. That's
No,
dude,
that
support
would
him.
that
Like, at age 17, I'll take him in for an abortion. I'll be like, fuck this, get in the car.
that would be too sinful. No, his rebellious phase gonna be working as an oil rigger or something.
Jesus.
Before you know it, he'll start slamming his door and not talking to you and getting tattoos of JavaScript.
Fuck that, man. Jesus Christ. All right, well, now you're scaring the shit out of me. All right, Jacob, pull up the combo scripts.
Oh, the combo scripts?
Yep,
Or do you
let's
want to
talk
go
about
over
the combos.
Navigator?
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. My bad, Navigator. Do you want
yeah.
to go to Navigator?
But it, like, we're using agent combat behavior, which is our AI script. We have a reference to the Navigator script. Let me highlight it. And then we're referencing the self table. That way we have easier access to the functions that are actually in the behavior.
Yeah. Right.
And then whenever we actually are calling navigate, it's right here. It's past the target. So it's self.navigator and then navigate.
Nice.
And you just pass it the target entity. It's not a position because we're actually getting a position within the navigator behavior.
Okay.
And then-
What are the requirements? What are the prereqs for an entity before you attach the navigator? I guess it needs to have a collider, or what does it require before you attach it?
Actually, the only thing that you really require is just that. I mean, if you want to see it, a renderable. Besides that,
No, that's fucking A, dude. If you can move, so what? You can move like an untextured square around with fucking pathfinding.
Yep.
Oh,
That's
beautiful. That's what I want. I would rather have the bare minimum dependency. Like there's no reason this could not work on a fucking untextured quad, right? Good.
Right.
Good. Keep it generic. Good.
Yeah, you could have like you
Dude,
could
I
have
don't
like a navigatable particle emitter. Like a
That is actually
magical
true. Oh yeah, you do something like that. That would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, like a
I'm
little
thinking, like-
fucking Navi pixies.
I'm like, maybe the warps got up and walked away. Like, I don't fucking.
That would actually be funny.
Or like that would be also interesting. Have like an enemy that spawns enemies.
Right. Oh yeah, that would definitely be cool. That would definitely be cool.
Within our navigator behavior, our main interface that we're actually using is this navigate function, which checks to see if we have a final or if we have a path.
Just remember to lowercase that, but yeah.
Yeah. Or if the target's moved, and if either one of those are true, you actually go in. It calls this find path function, which is where we're doing most of the stuff. And I think we've talked about A-star before as far as going through the list and then finding the heuristic and finding the lowest heuristic value.
Yeah. We don't have to go through all of that before because a lot of them know that. So what I will go ahead and mention what I mentioned to you, that because some of our more astute listeners might be like, "What, you've implemented the entire A-star pathfinding in Lua?" Which, at the moment, yes, we have, because during development we are implementing all of this in Lua because we don't know what exactly our use cases are for prototyping, and the way that architected is it's absolutely trivial to prototype in Lua, and with the exact same interface and API, just literally translate the code into C or C++. So I would rather things like this that Jacob can do easier focus on. I would rather him focus on correctness and get it in Lua, and the same API with almost no changes. If we decide it's bottlenecking on certain things, we can move certain aspects into C or C++ with very minimal effort. So for now, we're totally prototyping this level of stuff in Lua for now.
Wait, so like with some sort of sorry for a dumb artist question.
No,
so with some sort of like an interpreter or something where we feed it Lua and it shits out C++ code or something?
Oh no! It's just the way the Lua behavior works is there's the exact equivalent of a Lua behavior object. When you create an object as a Lua behavior, you can create it in C++ or Lua, and instead of onCreate being in Lua, it's a C++ class. You know what I mean? So you literally put the same equivalent code. It's structured the exact same way. Architecturally, it's just you're swapping the language.
Oh, that's neat.
So it's the same interface. It's the same API. You can pick anything you can do in C++ in terms of behavior. You can do in Lua, vice versa. You can do half in fucking Lua, half in C++. You can have on update in C++ and on create and all the exception logic in Lua. You can do things like that, because it doesn't make sense necessarily to put everything in C++ or to worry about shit like that until we know that it's performance limited, especially when it might change frequently and we're not sure what the use pattern looks like and shit like that.
Yeah, for sure. Essentially the sort of rewrites of frequent updates are the bane of game development, and I've seen that time and time again in projects. And that kind of shit, if you find yourself writing a lot of shit like that, that's a candidate for something that should be offloaded to the engine, and
if you're finding a lot of shit in on update, granted that's the fucking way Unity works because it's Unity, that's what you got. But in yes, and probably in Unreal and other engines, the point is that you're supposed to absolutely limit what's in on update. And if you have expensive logic in there, that is a very good candidate for something that should be moved into another trigger or another event, and it should be event based, and the engine should be the one with the polling logic every frame.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you wouldn't want to update literally every single thing all the time.
Yeah, and just like the engine doesn't do shit, just do it all in Lua.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of people that do shit like that.
Dude, that gives me nightmares.
Right. Dude, well, your Dreamcast would literally fucking die, so. That's funny. All right, so Jacob, real quick. Oh yeah, you want to talk about the button combo stuff? Because I had some input on that too.
Oh yeah. So having it to where we're having fully dynamic real-time combat, we want to have it to where we can also have combo moves instead of just the single jab, slash, or push that you have in Secret of Mana.
Yes.
So we have what I worked out to be 3 different kinds of button combos, which is multi-button single push, like a single button combo where you're pressing the same button like multiple times, and then a sequence type combo. So like if you're gonna do a dash slash or like a jump smash or whatever, to where you're pressing one button then the other. Those are the 3 kinds I've worked out. Right now I have the multi-button single press and then the single button combos worked out. And the multi-button single press is what I've got pulled up on the screen, where it just you feed it a list of buttons, and then
question.
Yeah,
sure.
While we're at it, can I ask for a consideration to UI implementation of it, as in to have like a to have like a graphic with icons of imagine the setup of the buttons but on your screen with icons of the abilities that happens when you press the button, that changes dynamically as you press the buttons to indicate the combos.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
That's something that probably is really good idea to think about really early on, because that's a major that's always major issue for any sort of button combo system, is just memorization of the combos.
Right. Yeah, that's true for sure. That's definitely true. Jacob, so you're about to fucking hate me, but okay. So some considerations are, in my mind, the thing is, you're saying you have 3 different types. In my mind, though, they would all be unified to one type. And what I would have is actually, you have basically a sequence of buttons, but each item in the sequence could be multi-press, right? It's like you have a list of these are the sequence involved in the combos. Like you have like a minimum delay of like, okay, did you hit this one?
Yeah,
then within
then you could
0.5 you hit this. But at each level of the node, though, it doesn't have to be one button. It could be you push A and B, and then within 0.5 seconds you push up, down, and then within 0.5 seconds. You know what I mean? So it seems to me like architecturally, this could all be solved in a unified form.
And then you could make it like the longer you hold it, the longer you charge up something, or the longer the pauses you like. Let's say if you you can have a variable pauses between button presses that lead you different combo paths. Like if you press X and then press X immediately again, it's like 2 short jabs. But if you press hold,
shit, he's right.
Press,
he's right. Jacob, he's right. We have to support. Yeah, you're right. We have to support basically branching. Right. Yeah. So think about that, Jacob. You might have 2 combos that start with 2 X's, and then you progress to like an A or a B, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
okay.
I think like a sequence of like combinations and for how long they are and how long is the interval sounds like a more dynamic and easy system.
I think so too. And Jacob, yeah, make sure that the interval is part of that too. The minimum interval, and let's make sure that's easily scriptable, you know?
Okay, so for what I did with the single button combo, like the timeout.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the...
I'm switching to his screen right now.
Okay, but is that timeout for every step of the combo or for the overall combo?
For the step of the combo. So you're saying have one for the overall combo as well?
No. Yeah, I would do the step. I would do each step of the combo. Because from there, obviously, you know how long the overall combo should take, right? Yeah, no, I would do that. Real quick, Dorkosity. Hey, man, how's it going? So for those of us who purchased this game, is this still the base game dev? Just curious. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Do you mean like, is this still, you know, where you get the latest information and where we're, you know, yeah, this is where we're keeping you guys updated. This is the main avenue for that. We're definitely planning on bringing back Adventures in Game Development. I ask that you guys give me just like maybe like a month before I get back to that, just to let my son mature a little bit more, so I get a little bit more sleep. You know, I don't want to burn out again on Adventures in Game Development. It's been long enough that I miss being on fucking YouTube. I want to make AIGD. My head is fucking alight with all these grand ideas. I want to be back, you know, but I also, this time around, I want to be more conscious of overstraining, overstressing. I don't want to burn out and then fuck the team over, fuck the game over, and then fuck all you guys over, you know?
Yeah, consistency.
So
This is
I would rather these be the consistent updates, and then AIGD as, you know, as we can, as we're, you know, keep AIGD fun, lighthearted, entertaining, educational, you know, and not something that we have to always do and fucking kill ourselves.
yeah, and of quality, and not something that we do because we kill ourselves to do. Yeah, that's something that's also like my goal for the next 2 months. Basically consistency, like consistency in the delivery of.
We've been very shitty at that historically. We would come, we would deliver so much, we would never sleep, we'd burn out, you know, and then we would. It is more efficient to work 80% efficiency 100% of the time than it is to work at fucking 150% efficiency 20% of the time, right?
Yeah, we've been.
I don't know. I didn't work out the math, but I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah, we've been doing basically crunch development all the time, and that
doesn't work with a project this scale. It just fucking doesn't. I mean, for some reason, it took me years to realize that, but I get it now. Hey, thanks, Dorkosity. I really appreciate it. That means a lot to me. Like, I swear to God, we're totally invested in bringing this to you, and I'm really sorry it's late, and we're gonna do the best we possibly can fucking do. Which I would not be here, you know, like subjecting myself to all this. I wouldn't be changing who I am fundamentally as a human being just so that I can handle the stress of this project if I didn't really, really believe in the vision and that we are going to be producing something fucking amazing. You know, that's why this is worth it to me. That's why I get up and I still fucking do this, and I still, you know, I still want to be. I still do. I didn't for a while, but I do now.
Yeah, so same goes for me, really. Don't have much to.
You got anything else, Jacob? Did that make sense to you? That
yeah, the comboing.
That vision for the combo.
Yes. Talking about as far as the branching and stuff goes, like for whenever we have like the single button combos, like each step of the attack would be something different. So how we do that with the unified version?
Well, I think actually you might not have to do anything different. So think about the unified version where each combo is an array of the buttons it takes. I mean, if you just have multiple different arrays, then it's going to sequence match. Oh, 2 of these start with X, right? It's going to sequence match on 2 combos. And then when the next one goes to A, the one with B is, oh, that's out. You know, the one with A, okay. Yeah. So it's actually going to be sequence matching on 2 at once, right? But then the very last one will only sequence match on 1. So I actually don't really think that if it's written in this uniform manner that that's extra complexity. You know what I mean? If you write it like that.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I would do. Think in your mind that multiple could, in the middle of a combo, multiple paths at any given point in time could be active, as you could be in the middle of an ambiguous sequence. It's not until you complete the sequence that it resolves to one of them, right?
Right.
So I think that's how I would look at it. And then keep in mind, the best way to have this is, you know, you make a simple array table of like, you know, these are the buttons, these are these values, so it's more conducive to selection view and UI based programming in ESDK, right?
Yeah, Falco,
you can do
Falco, a point. You could in theory have infinite combo where one action leads into, like, action A leads into B into C, which leads into A into B into C. So you don't really have to conclude in that way, right?
Say that again.
So if because so like you could have like a short stab which leads into biggest into slide into like, I don't know, overhead jab which leads into another straight jab. So like A into B into C into A into B into C into A into B into C.
Oh, right.
Basically infinite cycles.
Like dynamic combos.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, and at any given point at that path, you could branch into different ones.
Right.
And the animation,
this might take a couple iterations, you know, Jacob. Like, probably you'll come back, you'll have unified the main thing, and then we'll fucking piss you off and be like, well, what about this tiny use case? And then, you know, we'll further generalize it.
Right.
So yeah, don't worry. I assume this will be iterative.
Yeah, and you know, and the same probably goes for animations, because we're gonna have if we have this approach, we're probably gonna want to either have really good starting and ending poses, or have use the or have a poses that lead themselves into the blending. So, you know, of like lerping between end of pose A and start of pose B.
Right. Oh, Sucho Matt got my birthday wishes. You're welcome, man. Let's see. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to discuss real quick. Some guys from the Stimulant is another Dreamcast game engine it's another game engine that's being made on Dreamcast. So believe it or not, I don't hate everyone who makes other engines. I hate everyone who makes other engines that aren't on Dreamcast. So these guys are cool with me. So they came to ES Chat, and a bunch of the big dick Dreamcast developers in the Dreamcast community are all getting together, and they're like, Jesus Christ, we need C++ 17 on Dreamcast. Because at this point, you're kind of stuck with C++ 11 and half of 14. And as a community, we're deciding, all right, this is fucking bullshit. Let's work on getting the GCC compiler up to there. So there's a bunch of smart people. None of us are compiler experts. You know, we're just kind of like shit building for the Dreamcast tools. Yes, we'll need this. ES is using C++ 17. This is a problem that I figured I would have to solve myself eventually in the future. I really don't have too much time to help with this, but if anyone wants to be involved in this, you should look up the Stimulant engine and join their Discord chat. And just join us. You know, we're casually trying to get the Dreamcast tool chain up to date, which will benefit the entire Dreamcast fucking community. Every single person who writes C++ in the Dreamcast, this is in your best interest. You know what I mean?
Woo,
so, yeah.
Hype.
Help us out there. Yeah. So, I mean, when someone comes in and they're like, oh, you want to help, blah, blah, I'm like, and they're like, it's on Dreamcast. Yes. Yes. It's the community, man. That's the one community. Like, yep. You know, we're all in it together on the Dreamcast, as far as I'm concerned. You know, like a lot of what we do is also based on the homebrew APIs. You know, so it's important to me that I have to give back to that community, because a lot of our work is running on the Callistios homebrew SDK, right? So you guys should definitely check that out and help out that endeavor.
Maybe low-key one day you'll get asked to make the Dreamcast 2 by Sega.
I wish. I don't think Sega even cares about Dreamcast anymore.
4nm Ryzen. It'll be
on Dreamcast. Yeah, that would be fucking amazing. Dude, like, yeah, I know. Like, everyone else is getting consoles made by AMD. Sega should really get on that. That fucking Atari has a new console now. Like,
that thing's probably gonna be DOA.
Dude, get fucking rich. Purchase.
It's probably going to be DOA, but I really am tempted to buy one to put ES on it, because it's Linux based and literally ES will already run on it. And I can be like, oh, look, we support a new platform.
The new Skyrim.
You know what happens when I do this? A new game platform will come out that is either like Linux or Android based. Well, guess what? Our shit already runs on Linux and Android. So it's nothing, you know? And then I'll post, oh, ES runs on this. And then the responses will be, oh my God, he wasted time like porting it to that. And it's like, not
You can't win, man. You can't win, can you?
I've had to let go. I let go now. So fuck it. Fight the battles you can fucking win. Ignore the other battles.
Alright,
Samsung
so
smart fridges.
here is the alternative plan. Get filthy rich, buy the rights to the Dreamcast name, and convince AMD to build a Dreamcast 2.
And then the fucking launch game will be ES 2.0.
Exactly.
Sweet.
The MMO version.
Got it all
Maybe we'll
figured
get
out.
ES free with an AMD graphics card. I plan on getting that new one.
It's my dream that if I could somehow someday, once we're further along with ES, I'll be able to play around more with the shit I've learned at AMD. To like, okay, AMD, I know what your strengths are. I know how to make your graphics card look good, so maybe you should sponsor ES. I mean, that's how it works, dude. AMD sponsors game studios that do that, you know, that specifically optimize for AMD. Like,
Were you the one that made the zombie game work super good on the Vegas 64? Was that you who did that?
No. I work on tools. I'm not doing anything like that. Those are some of the. Is that DirectX 12?
All right. I believe so.
Yeah. So that's my teammates though. Right now, I'm actually working on the tools side for developer tools for DirectX 12. I'm on loan internally to the tools team. I work on the DirectX 12 driver team, but I'm on loan to the tools side of that right now for developer tools. I'm working on Radeon developer profile right now, or panel RDP.
Shit, man.
Yeah, that new card looks quite nice. I'm kind of hoping they make a 5900 XT as rumors and whatnot go, but
no comment. I fucking cannot comment.
Yeah, the way I look at it,
fail.
there's no way that's the only card they're doing.
I don't know, man.
Dum dum dum.
But anyway, definitely getting that new Ryzen. That new Ryzen's pretty sick.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, for sure.
But unfortunately, getting an AMD card, I'll have to get rid of my G-Sync monitor and get a new one. But, yeah.
Damn, man, I still need to pay off the loan for my flat. Can't even upgrade my PC. So sad.
Dude, everyone expects that I don't own NVIDIA, but like first and foremost, I'm a game developer developing ES. Like I run NVIDIA too at home. I mean, I have AMD, NVIDIA, and Intel, and I have to, you know. So yeah, we have to run all three also. So it's not like we're just AMD here on Team ES, even though
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
right. Yeah. Only the worst developers develop on one platform and assume it works everywhere else. That is a fucking newbie mistake.
Yeah.
Or they develop on one platform and don't give a shit and don't even care that it doesn't work on everything else, which is just lazy to me. But
I mean, they technically do that with Mac, but
what Mac programmers do that?
I mean, just in general, it seems like no one bothers to put anything on Mac.
Right. Yes.
But then there's really no reason to.
Right. Well, kind of. I would argue that, but yeah.
Dude, Mac's popular.
Yeah, it really depends on. To me, in my opinion, if you are a talented developer who knows what you're doing, it is the same amount of fucking work to write cross-platform code correctly the first time, knowing what you're doing, than it is to not write it. You know what I mean? I'm not doing more work to write cross-platform code. I'm just hyper aware of what is standard C, what is not standard C, what is an operating system specific call, you know, how the different OSs work, and that's something you gain through experience. So at first it is an extra cost to support extra platforms, but as your infrastructure builds, as your experience level builds, that really, I don't really buy that shit anymore. When people are like, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
We don't port ES. Like, that's not gonna fucking happen. We don't make this game and then we're going to translate this game to another platform. That's not our development.
Yeah,
and process,
and the same gonna go for our shaders, when we can just have a fallbacks where I can have a, so you know, I could in theory have a nice depth displacement effect above a fire, which would be like a second pass, so to speak, which could have a difficulty running on Dreamcast but not on PC. But then we can basically just have a fallback shader which wouldn't have that. So that's also not an issue.
You can kind of do multi-pass on the Dreamcast. It's fucking hard as hell, and there are a lot of limitations. Obviously, it doesn't really have shaders, so it depends on what you're trying to achieve. But there is bump mapping, for example, on Dreamcast does require multiple passes.
Yeah.
One pass
like,
for the
for example,
diffuse and one for the normal.
So imagine a transparent material which grabs what's rendered under it and distorts it via like a UV displacement type of deal.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, and basically getting the displacement value from a two-channel texture where on red you have the displacement in the y direction, and on the blue, for example, on the other one.
Right.
Yeah, and then you basically like shit it out again on the screen, and that you have like a nice displacement. Not displacement, but like a this sort of like a heat effect.
Right. Someone just asked, so there will be a bit of a graphics difference between DC and PC? Yes. There'll be a bit of a graphics difference between every platform. When we first started Elysian Shadows, back when this game looked like a piece of shit Game Maker 2D RPG, my design philosophy was every single platform was going to be exactly the same, which basically implied that the game would be limited by the lowest common denominator, which really was the Ouya. But since then, the engine has evolved and my views have evolved. Our philosophy with ES now is every build is taking as much advantage of the hardware as it possibly can, which means there will be variation, but none of that will be gameplay affecting is our fucking guarantee. We have made goddamn sure that it will only be aesthetic, it will be surface level differences. And by the way, especially with like the Ouya and some of the older mobile phones, I'm not necessarily saying the Dreamcast is going to be the lowest end build either. It's funny because I have a funny story with that actually. Ouya Free the Games Fund, we won the highest backed game for that. They were basically going to send us another $180,000 if we signed an exclusivity deal for the Ouya for the first 6 months. Which, whatever, but we wanted to come out. Most of you guys bought it for Dreamcast, so that wasn't okay. So we asked them, like, do you care if we come out on Dreamcast at that time, Mostly they just wanted to make sure other consoles weren't competing. They didn't give a shit about PC. So we're in PC Ouya, and I'm like, dude, would you care about Dreamcast? They're like, no, we're not competing with Dreamcast because the Ouya version is going to be the superior one to the Dreamcast. And we're just like, yeah, oh yeah, Dreamcast, it'll look way worse. I was having a lot of problems with the Ouya build, getting it to fucking match the Dreamcast build. So it would have been funny, if we actually went through with the Ouya Free the Games Fund and they let us come out on Dreamcast and it looked better on DC than Ouya, that would have made me proud, but it would have probably pissed them off and they probably would have hated us, but fucking Dreamcast.
The little console that could.
Right. Anything else we need to cover? Anybody got questions?
Oh, Jacob, can I have a quick tutorial for the creating entities with the spine skeletons and attaching particle effects to them, like particle emitters?
Yep.
Patrick, by the way, let's make sure we're on the same page in terms of the asset shit that we're working on. What's your priorities right now? What do they look like?
Okay, so right now I'm gonna finish that scrap turret with animations, and I'm gonna finish particles, make a in-game. Because I have the assets for it, but I need to actually make a animation of the particles, so make the spine animations for it for the engine. Okay. So that's gonna finish. Actually, let me see in the progress. Gonna make sure that we have so you can see on the Trello follow environmental objects. Gonna finish all of that.
Okay, cool. Does Pritam have tasks, or should I task Pritam, or
Yeah, I have to catch up with Pritam because he said that he still had some things to do that he hadn't had finished. So I need to do a review of what we have and what we don't have, and after that I'm gonna go on to the working with the ruins. So
Okay.
the normal map. So basically, I'm gonna go into normal maps and like getting normal maps and height and displacement and shit like that. Specular.
I imagine I'll be working with
Yeah.
you with that.
Yeah.
Right. That'll be the shader side on for me, and us working together.
Yeah. Making sure that basically I have everything everything working on that side, and after that's probably gonna be few months of that. Like I don't
Right.
imagine it's going to be a fast process.
No.
Like initial estimates I say like 2-3. And after that I'm gonna finalize the meanwhile I'll be doing the echoes because we probably will need that anyway.
Right. That too. Right. So that is what I'm working on in terms of the gameplay side. What I'm working on that's not tech related. Yeah, is that kind of shit.
Yeah. So basically I'm gonna assign like whatever is gonna be needed in terms of simple 2D graphics, like both standalone things like bushes or something, things that don't need to be animated by them.
Pritam's really good at that.
Yeah.
Pritam,
Or like walls, floors, statues, etc. etc. So everything in that regard gonna go to Pritam, so he can like see whatever is needed for forest and stuff like that, which I don't think is gonna be much.
Beautiful.
So I'm gonna
play to your strength.
yeah,
Play
I'm
to your
gonna I'm gonna make sure that the files for the animations, so the skeleton, like my master PSD files, are usable by other people. So in future, like Pritam or someone else can start making also skeletons, not skeletons,
Right.
but the art assets for animations. And I'm gonna be doing things like
Okay, cool.
yeah. So
That sounds great. I'll make sure that Jeremy knows. Like, he's we're on different pages there with Jeremy.
Yeah. We
Which
need
is
to.
fine. I just probably didn't communicate that well. I'll handle that. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Keep doing what you're doing. You have convinced me that the ruins are where we should be focusing. That's fine. I agree. You have my blessing. I'll talk to him.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Jacob, yeah, you can take it away. I'm gonna go check on my baby real quick. So make sure he's good. Lauren hasn't, but I'm just gonna check on him real quick just in case. Nervous father. So yeah, you guys feel free to go ahead with the the demonstration of the entity stuff, Jacob.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Can you give me like 2.5 seconds so I can turn back on cartoons? Netflix just paused, so.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Sweet. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
1 second.
In the meantime. All right, I'll be right back.
All right, Patryk, I thought I'd tell you a couple weeks ago, I just got back from Krakow.
From what? Oh shit! Yeah, how was it?
Oh, dude, Krakow was sweet.
Dude, it's like hotter than fucking Barcelona apparently.
Yeah, and I was in Katowice for a bit as well, but yeah, dude, Krakow's awesome.
What did you do there? Just touristy stuff or business?
A bit of that. Of course, I went to Krakow for the reason everybody goes to Krakow for.
The fucking. What was the fucking conference?
The camp.
What camp?
Auschwitz-Birkenau.
Ah, that one. Ah,
Yeah.
I thought that you meant Digital Dragons.
Oh, you mean like Game of Thrones or something?
No, there is like a fucking game dev conference in Krakow.
Oh no, I wasn't there for that. Ironically, though, a UFC fighter I'm a big fan of was actually in Krakow like 2 weeks later and was in Lodz for a bit as well. It's like, damn.
Oh shit.
Okay.
But
Hey Jacob, got your stuff?
Pat. Yep.
Sweet.
Okay. Now describe to me again what you're trying to accomplish.
Okay,
You said
so
you wanna try-
I'm gonna make you a turret, which is gonna be made of like a scrap. So it's gonna be a spine animation. It's gonna be basically a spine entity with animations with like idle and aggro and attack and death. and it's gonna have have a direction, stuff like that. So basically, it's gonna be like a full spine enemy essentially.
Right.
So I will also, it's gonna have like a chimney that I want to, and I want smoke coming out of it. So I need to make a particle system that's gonna make smoke, and I need to attach it in particular place on that spine skeleton, which would be like a bone that I made.
Yep. And then that particle emitter would be an entity with just another particle emitter, which would emit whatever the fuck smoke particles. And you would want to give it the particle emitter, you can give it basically like an acceleration value. Give it a negative one, you know, to make it rise against.
Yeah.
If you don't, it'll be like gravity, so the smoke will come out and just.
Yeah. So I would, So essentially, I would want like a range of lifetime, a range of size, a range of transparency on them, or like them starting and like a curve essentially where it starts. That would be ideal if we have it. If not, then
thank fuck we have exactly what you want actually.
Yeah. Because like, you know, remember I never actually touched it. This is gonna be my first time doing it.
Yeah, I gotta make sure that.
Because before it was Tyler who was doing it.
It's all accessible from the UI though.
Code is also fine, but
it's still be a fucking tiny bit if you did have to do some Lua.
Because like having it if you want to take some time and look how Unity uses has particle systems. They have a very friendly UI, because like essentially like for most of the variables you can set whether you want it to be like a static or a range or a random between two, a curve random between two curves.
We have a bunch of that. We don't have like random between two curves. So I was going to add stuff like that as you guys needed it.
Yeah, random between two curves, like it's kind of like that's like a really pedantic. I never found that one particularly useful, but like a curve over lifetime, that's really huge.
Yeah, that is definitely there.
Yeah. And like, you know, because like hard coding a curve in code, that's not the way to go. Graphically, right. You know, with a Bezier curve, it's easier.
Right.
If anything, I can make you a script that has most of it parameterized. So you want
that too. So you would attach the behavior. Yeah, exactly. You would just attach the behavior, and you could parameterize it for him, right? That's true too.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea either. Oh, great! My fucking mouse is fucked.
Yeah,
great.
But then like other thing could also useful to be able to have it as like the particles to be also a spine animation. Like if I can have like a particle as a spine animation or particle as a no.
No, we could do that. There's no fucking reason.
Like basically, like be able to have attach whatever entity I want as a particle.
Right now you can't do that, but yeah, we could do.
Yeah, that. I mean, because for now, because like I'm talking about like all the like super edge cases right now, right? Like right now I'm defining the upper limit of what I could conceive in my sick mind. Right. So this is definitely not all that I need for the little thing. Yeah. But like because like. You know, if I could have as a spine animation, then I could have a particle which is a flip book, or particle which has its own animation in spine happening. Yep. So all kinds of cool things could be happening.
Yep, we can do that. We can definitely do that.
Yeah, or like set also a custom shader on a particle. So if I could write a shader which has a little bit of UV displacement, so it ripples.
That will definitely have to be there. That's not there yet. That will definitely have all the custom shader shit will be there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you will definitely have to be able to do that.
Yeah, shader special effects will be nice.
Is Jacob? Are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Because I'm about to have to go.
Right. Yeah. So that's about it.
Okay.
Can't think of anything else. I can write you a list if you want.
You okay, Ella?
Yeah. No, please do. Let me write some shit down. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
Nah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, thanks for coming, everyone. We'll see you here at about the same time next week. Yeah, this will be a much more productive week than we've had because yeah, we're all back. We ready to kick ass again. So thanks for thanks for attending the stream, everyone. See you next week.
Yep. See you, everyone.
Yeah.
Fuck, my mouse does